me and my mates got on like a few different drugs. We had like, there was like K, there was like anyway, I'm not even going to list this, but K was the
I heard it's
main culprit.
very accessible.
It's just easy, man. Yeah, it's so accessible. I was living my life, I was having fun, whatever. So, a couple of my mates, and we were all, the majority of us were Kiwis and Australians, so, we all have to speak the same language, we all have the same sense of humour.
Hey, mate.
Yeah, mate, again. We all have similar sense of humour and same references as well, so, so we're all having a blast, it's having a great time at this party, and I got to this point where I had just had too much K, and
What is K exactly?
So it's a horse tranquilizer. I know that they use it to tranquilize horses. Apparently, I haven't looked into it that much, but I know that that's what they say. And if you have too much of it, then you can actually, even if you just have the buzz, is that it's kind of like weed for me. It feels like weed, but a lot more surreal. Things slow down, and like when you stand up and walk. When I stood up and walked, it feels like I'm walking on the moon, like this kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's a pretty cool buzz, to be honest. So I had far too much of this tranquilizer, and I just had this moment where, so they had this thing, if you take too much of it, then you fall into this K-hole, which basically means you're
K-hole.
You're about to fall asleep, that you're being so tranquilized that your body's just given out, I think.
You go into like a trance or something, or you just fall asleep?
Basically, I felt like so we had those what do you call them, arcade games, like the arcade game machines in this barbershop, and I remember I was playing Mortal Kombat with someone, and then I started to become the character. Like I was playing, and I'm watching this character fight Raiden, and I'm watching this character fight, and then he flies across the screen, and then I felt like I was flying in the screen. And I'm like, and then I start to think about, what's going to be my next move. Like if he falls over, if he stands back up, and I'm thinking like I'm Raiden, this kind of thing. I'm like,
finish him.
You're fucked. Yeah, you need to get out of here. You need to get out of here. So I literally just ditch the game. I run into the barber shop, sit on one of the barber chairs, and just look in the mirror. I'm just like, get it together, man, get it together, because there's a whole Christmas party going on outside. And I look up.
Does it feel like you're wearing the whole outfit and things?
No. At this point, I'm still me. No, at this point, I sound like I'm me. Like I know, I am aware enough to understand at that point, like you're tripping. You need to get up. So Joe runs into the barber shop, sits in the chair, look in the mirror. And when I look in the mirror, I just see a starry night. I see like the galaxy. And that's a cool trip. I can deal with this. This is mellow. I like space. This is cool. I can deal with this. And as I'm looking into this galaxy, I start to see the faces of like male figures in my family. Like my dad's face pops up, and then my grandfather's pop up. They're all just like floating around. Their faces are just floating around. And my grandfather says to me, they hardly speak English, man. So
but you understand.
But I understand what they're saying. Especially at this moment, because it's me talking to myself, and he's like, look at me, and he's like, we bought you. He's basically like saying, do you appreciate this opportunity? Do you appreciate this opportunity that we came to New Zealand? Like we came
all
from
the way.
Yeah, and here you are on horse tranquilizers. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was a moment where he's like, what are you doing with this opportunity?
Yeah.
I came on a ship, and so I had this thing. Then
like an instant story of like,
like he wasn't literally saying this will probably happen in this second type thing. But the message that I got from that was,
let's get it together.
Yeah, I spent 2 weeks on a boat from Samoa to New Zealand. And I needed, I wanted to create, a young man or, whatever. I wanted to create my future generation. Yeah, this kind of thing. Take advantage of the opportunities that are available to you in the Western world. And this is what you're doing. You take a horse tranquilizer, what the hell? So I was like, okay, that's it. That's a good point. So that was a mad...
Sitting in the barber seat.
Yeah, just sitting barber seat, probably for like an hour as well. Doing absolutely nothing, this kind of thing. So... I've had these kinds of experiences on drugs.
Is that like really vivid?
Very, very vivid. Yeah, a lot of my trippy experiences have been very vivid. And I'm not necessarily condoning the use of drugs.
Of course.
But which is why I kind of spoke to like how I feel like my brain is, or like how I am just wired. Fortunately, I know that it's
fortunately.
Yeah, exactly. Fortunately, I'm wired in this way that I kind of have these experiences, but I have never been like starving because I've spent all my money on drugs type thing. I see them as a vice that we can kind of dip into every now and then, whatever, to experience whatever it is you want to experience. But then I can go a year without doing anything, like it's fine. That was definitely one of the more like vivid trips that I had, and it was a good lesson as well. It was well
in the K-hole.
In this K-hole out there in the galaxy.